John Mateer just set an Oklahoma record. Shortest tenure in Sooners quarterback history.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. John Mateer has really done it this time. And I do not believe, I keep up with the Oklahoma Sooners, former Big 12 school. I keep up with them, and I prey upon their downfall. And this is the big one. He has been caught allegedly gambling on 3, tweets out, that Oklahoma has made clear of Venmo transactions that Mateer made recently, 2022, I should say, that look like maybe he was gambling, possibly. Mateer says that the allegations are false. His previous Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray transactions in question. And so you're wondering at home, well, what were these Venmo transactions? Were they had fun watching the game? You're like, wonder if he's paying somebody to sports bet under the table while he's watching this game, or, friendly wager. You see that friendly wager on there, like, oh, wait a second. Was that about sports? Oh, buddy, buckle up. This is the big one. This is good. On November 20th of 2022, John Mateer paid Richard Roten. And the description for the payment says sports gambling, UCLA versus USC. UCLA and USC played on November 19th. And on November 20th, John Mateer paid Mr. Richard Roten for sports gambling, UCLA versus USC, which is a common inside joke amongst male friend groups. Come on, guys. Can we not do locker room talk anymore? I can't say sports gambling, anytime home run, and you immediately get like, oh, he doesn't mean sports gambling. He means the gas that he's paying me back for. This is the equivalent of on November 19, 3 people are brutally murdered with a weapon as random as a plunger. And on November 20th, you Venmo someone, thank you for helping me murder those 3 people with a plunger. It's just really hard to work your way out of painting on the wall, I am guilty. And then when the cops show up and you have the spray paint can in your hand and there is a dead body on the floor and I am guilty is written on the walls, they're like, dude, hold on. Inside joke. Common misconception. You ever seen Righteous Gemstones? It's we're just doing car pranks. It's Jesse Gemstones just doing car pranks. The guy wrecks into a car and watches it barrel roll a couple hundred yards and tells his wife, "Oh yeah, just doing car pranks." That's the equivalent of what John Mateer has done here. Where does Oklahoma go without its starting quarterback? The NCAA is cracking down on this so much. Shohei Ohtani is a big piece of this. Pete Rose was, I guess, a big one. We're just super intertwined with how sports gambling is going to ruin the game. Everything's sponsored by those sites like college football is, but the players can't do it. College football, the MLB, players can't do it. And I get why they can't do it. But things like this just aren't, not only are they not allowed right now, but there is a microscope on anything remotely like players gambling. There's a microscope on John Mateer at Oklahoma and anybody else in the country. So if the NCAA investigates this, they're going to find out, this is speculation, but they may find out, as someone personally who, when I was in college, was sports gambling, because I liked that, legally, only in legal states, I would call my friend who would help me do so. And there's a word for those. I have FanDuel now, so I'm fine. There was a time in my life where I knew someone who utilized a bookie. Not me, ever. But someone who utilized a bookie. What happens when we find out that Richard Roten is a bookie? But he was also just John Mateer's friend, and they were chatting it up. And apparently there are multiple Venmos as well for things along the sports gambling nature. And really, in this, that has been dubbed Venmo Gate by George Stoya of On3, Sooner Scoop. I don't see a way out of it for the starting quarterback of the Oklahoma Sooners. Again, there were 2 transactions that day. One of them is sports gambling, USC, UCLA. The other is just simply labeled sports gambling. Both of them are to Richard Roten. And now that On3 has picked it up, now that CBS Sports is in there like swimwear, now that the NCAA has this, I don't know how he's going to get out of it. If someone was trying to conceal gambling, they wouldn't put sports gambling. This just seems like a really stupid thing that someone who was gambling did. Never in the history of the world has someone said, I'm paying you for food or gas or lawn care, and decided I'm going to name it something that could damn my career forever. That has not happened. I looked. I Googled it. And this would be the first time ever that someone was just making an inside joke amongst friends. I posted something last week-ish about Oklahoma coming back to the Big 12 because I think it would behoove them. I think it'd be good for them. They're really struggling in the SEC. And Jim from Ada is not saying the $20 million bump that the university is. That the university, you got paid to lose. Cool, I guess. I find it very awesome when things go wrong at Texas or Oklahoma. And that's what's happening right now. I find that part fun. You left us. I don't even have to be petty. You do it to yourself. The pole assassin thing. Or John Mateer paying someone for sports gambling. Oh, this guy's petty. This is just hilarious. Objectively really funny. Today's show is brought to you. I wish. Gosh dang it, I wish. Tomorrow's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Today's show is brought to you by GameTime. GameTime's exactly where I go to buy tickets. GameTime's where I go to buy tickets to everything. Tyler Childers concert, Turnpike Troubadours concert. You guys in Oklahoma know who they are, don't you? When I want to go see the boys from Oklahoma, when I want to go see Cross Canadian Ragweed, I buy those tickets on GameTime because I like that music. It's my kind of music. Red Dirt's good. I know you get it, OU fans. We've all been there. You log on early. They're expensive. GameTime, up to 60% off killer last-minute deals. Zone deals, panoramic seat view, GameTime guarantee, cancellation protection. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the app. Create an account. Use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account. Redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download the GameTime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Thank you, John Mateer, for being you, man. Thank you for this one. Not even a slow news week. Like, we're on the cusp of football. I can talk about whatever I want to, but God bless, you just really made me, you tickled me today with your inside joke, with your funnies. It was a good one. You got me. You made me laugh. All right, this has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Go say Grande.